Good morning, everybody. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice, we shall sing, and we shall be glad in it. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the coaching community, the Book Business Bosses, where we help you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. So, this morning, I want to talk about something that can be kind of a touchy subject, but we're going to jump on in right now. It's called disappointment. Have you ever been disappointed by a person, by a situation, by a project that you put a lot into, a business, a job, even disappointment by a family? And friends and people let you down. And so, and I understand that. And in my travels, sometimes I get disappointed by events that I attend. Sometimes the pictures of the hotel is not what it looks like. So when Mr. Me and Brian Roston walk in, we're like, okay. And then sometimes we're like, oh, this is really nice. But the disappointment of not being or not having or not um, seeing or the expectation of what you anticipated is not there is sometimes very, 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 very devastating. And so in our travels, um, in the places that we've gone, the people that we've met, the situations that we've been in. First off, the scripture text is, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So we know even disappointment, even devastation, it's all going to work for our good. Now, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to look good. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be overwhelming. You're going to cry. You're going to be angry. You have a right to all of those emotions. You have a right to feel all that, see all that. But it's a process. It's a journey. And this is the only thing is that I always have to work on it for me. Now, this one is for me too, as well, is that I can't stay there. I can acknowledge, I can, know that it happened. I'm not in a fantasy world. I don't close my eyes and say, everything is perfect. As soon as I open my eyes, no, it's not perfect. It's not the greatest situation. There's a lot of things going on in this world that are not great. Evil has gone, or just be spread, unleashed on the land, and all kinds of horrible things are happening. But am I going to look at the horrors and the awful things that are happening and stop doing what I'm called to do? It's a struggle. It's hard. Sometimes you want to just stay in the bed, put the covers on bed. I get it. I understand it. I recognize it. But I have to keep moving because I know this is a part of God's plan. This is a part of God's purpose. He warned us. He told us in scripture before I come that these things would happen. So I can't be surprised, especially if I know my word. I can't be surprised. So disappointment is one of those things that you just have to work through. It's a journey. So number one, you got to recognize it for what it is. Okay, this was my level of expectation. This is what did not happen. I recognize it. I acknowledge it. I know what happened. And then I have to know, what part did I play? Did I do everything humanly possible I could to make it happen? No, yes. And if I didn't, what do I need? What are the lessons I need to learn? What do I need to do better? What do I need to do to reestablish a relationship, or leave it as is? Do we need to have a conversation? There's a lot of aspects to disappointment, not just the actual act itself. Where did it come from? How did it get here? How did we get here? What happened? The timing of it. What happened? What was going on before? What's also going on now, especially if it's an event? What else is going on in the city? So you have to recognize it. And this is where people get stuck sometimes. And I understand this too. I had a dad who was a teacher, and I'm a teacher, and we can always, and this is the one thing I didn't put in the description, is we can always rehearse it. And that happened, and remember that happened. Well, And that happened, and we keep on rehearsing it. And then they get stuck there. Some people get stuck there and never pass that disappointment. So therefore, you're shy to ever move in that direction again, or or the person or the project or the new situation suffers because of some disappointment that happened. So you rehearse it. You learn from it. No, don't be put blinders on and like, oh no, it didn't happen. Oh, I'm in la la land. No, you're not in la la land. We've got to make sure that we understand the lesson that we were supposed to learn. What were we supposed to do? Did we not promote enough? Did you have a graphic? Did you call? Did you show up? Were you on time? You did everything humanly possible you can do. Then God may be closing a door and may not be, may have something else or redirect or someplace else for you to go. But what ends up happening is we rehearse, even to the new people, even to the people, even in the new situation, we replay. Ladies, in relationships, I was hurt before, and that one did that to me, and that one did. It doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It could be an old job. It could be an old committee you were on, an old church you used to go to, and you just rehearse it. And you keep giving it life. That disappointment, you just keep giving it life. And you have just blinders on that the exact same thing is going to happen over and over again. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So how you going to know unless you go for it? So some people get stuck in, we recognize it. Yeah, we should. We're adults. We need to determine what happened. Then we rehearse it. And sometimes we get in a cycle, like the children of Israel in the desert. They're just going around the mountain for 40 years. But you stuck and rehearse. And then you can't get to the next step. Number 3, release. Okay, so we have something that we've learned. It was a disappointment, but we know we have to either have a new set of rules, a new set of procedures, a new set of protocol. We also have to have, say, for example, a separate set of questions. Prime example. So when I first started publishing 15 years ago, now it's more than 15 years ago, and I was alone first. And then after I had my first client, was a breeze. My very first situation was a breeze. Charged, did the work, she paid, 2 wonderful book sessions, wonderful. But over time, I didn't replicate that same client. I had some other clients that came along that behaved in a politically correct, I'll be politically correct and say they didn't behave like my very first client. So therefore, my contract changed. The questions I asked changed. The situation changed. The people changed. And the questions that the new clients had to answer, the first client didn't have to answer because we didn't have those certain situations and we weren't disappointed by those certain actions. So some disappointments are set to redirect, reshift, recalibrate, everything the way you do things, because now you know more. You release that bad thing that potentially could have happened, but then you also have to realize we can't just keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. We've got to do things differently. Sometimes that's the reason why those disappointments happen, so that we don't repeat it. So now we know more, so that we can know better, so we can do better. Okay, so sometimes you have to release that into new processes, new systems, new structures, things that do work, things that don't work. So you were disappointed by that action, but now I do things totally different. Will it happen again? Sure. I'll be disappointed by something else, and I'll have to add a contract, do something different, get a different system, get some new software. Okay, this happened. So that's making me release that old pathway and that old thinking. And then I have to, number 4, recover. I recover from it by doing different. I recover from it by asking different questions. I recover from the disappointment by doing differently. But just that rehearsing and not functioning and not changing and not shifting and not pivoting and that won't work. That won't work. Because sometimes those disappointments are learning lessons. Those are learning experiences to help you grow. And you know the seeds grow in the dark, in dirt. Ooh, now that's another topic for another time. But some people get stuck in rehearse and that didn't work out. Well, what was wrong with it? Well, why do you think it didn't work out? Was it timing? Was it the product? Was it the service? Was it the person? Was it you? Were you not ready? Do you need a therapist? Did you need healing? Were you not whole yet? It's a lot of things that can happen. But your ultimate goal is to recover from it, to release the old and walk into the new. Release your mindset from the past and accept and bring on new for the new. New things, new people, new processes, new systems. Because you can't walk in what God has for you unless you release the old. You remember, that's another R word, you remember, but you got to release it. Because otherwise you will kill the new, and the blessing God intends to happen to you and happen for you to increase you and answer that prayer and that craving. Oh God, I need. Oh God, I won't. And then you keep killing it. You keep crushing it. You keep messing it up. But we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. I want you to live your best life. And that's coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on envision-radio.com. And always listen. Go directly to the website, envision-radio.com, or these apps, radio.net, radio.garden, Alexa, Get Me Radio, Roku, MediaU, MyTuner Radio, tuner.co, and wherever podcasts are heard. Be sure and listen in on envision-radio.com, where praise meets talk 24/7. And then coming up after that at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Spike Davis and Friends show. Tune in for laughs, music, and more. And then on Tuesdays, if you're a writer thinking about writing or a publisher, we're in the midst in this season of the publishing process. So tune in, the Book Business Boss Show, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right where? On envision-radio.com. The replay of season 1 is at the Book Business Boss podcast.com. If you're in the Indianapolis area, this is day 3 of the Indiana Black Expo. Feel free to locate, if you're in the Indianapolis area or just going to stop by for the day. I think today is Gospel Day. There should be a good, huge gospel concert at the Indiana Convention Center. Be sure and stop by booth 1216, BK Royston Publishing booth 1216, and support the authors and books there. Yes, I'm not there, but my books are there. So be sure and stop by. There are several authors there. We had a live stream earlier this week, so be sure to be on the lookout for the Indiana Expo. Today is the last day, July 16th. This is day 3 of the Indiana Black Expo. Be sure and stop by and bless them and support them and stop by. Coming up July 20th, I am here in Mobile, Alabama at the Alabama Department of Education Mega Conference. So that's where the educators are. I'm at booth 39. So if you're in the other opposite end of 65, Indianapolis is in North 65. So if you're in the South, come by and stop by booth 39. I will be there with BK Royston Publishing. Booth there at booth 39 at the Mobile Convention Center. Please stop by, and I will have books and information on everything related to BK Royston Publishing, and including book fairs, etc. So if you're work with the PTA or anything regarding to schools and education or a nonprofit organization, church, stop by and let's have a conversation. And then coming up, a whole lot going on. August, and then I'll be home a week and then head back out again. August 2nd through the 6th, National Black Nurses Association. I'll be in Atlanta for a full week. And then the Women's Empowerment Conference, August 5th and 6th, and then the Black Writers Weekend. So Atlanta, Georgia, I'm coming your way for the week of August 2nd through the 6th. I'll give more details next week. If you would like to have a conversation with me in regards to writing, publishing, let's schedule a time on my calendar, talkwithroyston.com. That's talkwithroyston.com. I'm super excited about all that is happening in your life. It's all going to work for your good. It's all going to work out. Put your faith and confidence in God. He has not left you. He promised he would never leave us nor forsake us. He would be with us through all troubles, through all disappointments, through all the good times and bad times. Put your faith and confidence in him, and he will bring you through. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. For all of my other contact information, go to juliaakroyston.com. That's JULIA, another A and K, ROYSTON. You all be blessed. Have a phenomenal week. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.